Welcome to Coffee with the Port St. Lucie Mayor. I am Teresa Aronson from the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce. It is our pleasure, our honor to facilitate this event every single month. We have a new date. It is now the third Tuesday of the month. We are certain that this date is going to stick, but it is our new permanent date, third Tuesday, 8:30, right here at City Hall in the council chambers. It's free, it's open to the public. We throw in an amazing coffee cake, some really hot coffee, and we invite you all to join us. It's open to the public. Anybody can come. You don't have to be a chamber member. You don't have to, just anybody can come down here and have coffee cake and coffee. We're going to be joined shortly by the mayor of this beautiful city. Of course, that's Shannon Martin. And we're also going to have a special presentation today, Malin. We're going to hand out some plaques that we've been threatening to hand out for the past couple of years, and we're finally going to do that today.
We're going to do it.
But I'll explain more later when we get to that point. But right now, I want to welcome our sponsor. Of course, it is Mid-Florida Credit Union. You know them, you love them. They've come into the city with a powerful punch. They are helping out so many nonprofits, I can't even tell you. They named our Mid-Florida Event Center after Mid-Florida Credit Union, and we have representing them today, of course, Malin Joseph. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Such a pleasure to be here.
It's nice to see you.
Yes, it's been a week.
A week? It's only been a week?
Yes. We see each other everywhere.
I know, and I was going to say, I have no concept of time. I don't remember where I saw people, if it was yesterday or 2 weeks ago, but yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe you. It's been a week.
But pleasure to be here. Such a beautiful crowd this morning.
It is. We have a lovely crowd. We have a big crowd, but we are giving away, some plaques, so that might have a little bit of something to do with it.
An add-on, right?
Yes, it is. But I like seeing all these people. It's very nice.
It's pleasure seeing everyone coming out in the community like this.
So last month, Mid-Florida gave their time to Alfonso Jefferson from the county. He's the assistant county administrator, to talk about the gala that you guys had on Saturday. I know I saw you in the pictures.
Yes, such a beautiful event.
It
was
was
a beautiful event.
My staff went to. They loved it.
Yes, many faces. I can't name anyone.
No, of course not. You don't have to. That's not in your scope.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. You don't have to know the faces. That's my job.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Mid-Florida Credit Union, what you guys got going on, what rates look like, what you anticipate, all that kind of great stuff.
Well, Mid-Florida Credit Union, we are a community credit union. A little over 60 branches now that we're growing very fast, but very steady. We value our community and what we bring to the table for the community, because we know we are who we are because of our community. So it's glad to see how we're growing within the Treasure Coast, and still some plans coming ahead. As you know, rates are what it is right now, but credit union are very big with giving you low rates on your auto loans, refinances, purchases. Home equities are very good right now, so check us out. We have 3 locations here in St. Lucie, so Gatlin, St. Lucie West, and then US 1. We also have one in Stewart, so check us out, see what we can do for you. I'm sure there's something for you that we can do.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So not giving away a Charger this year, a car?
No, not yet. They like to surprise us, though.
They do.
So be on the lookout. They do like to surprise us.
And your credit union, it's a credit union because it's a nonprofit, so
Yes.
dividends go back into
Right back into it, yes.
And you operate as a nonprofit, which we love. Tell us what your hours are at the bank.
We are open 7 to 7, so that means to say that our drive-thru is open from 7 in the morning to 7 at night. And we're open on Saturdays also from 9 to 1. So if you ever have the need, again, we're community and we're all about our members. So we accommodate our members in every which way. Whatever we can do to help, if it's staying a little bit later to help you out, that's what we do.
7 to 7, that's really unheard of.
I know, right?
I know.
That was new to me too.
10. Since COVID, everything opens at 10, nothing opens before.
No, Mid-Florida has been sticking it out. We've been do appointments only, whatever we got to do, because you come first. After all, you control us.
Well, we talk about Mid-Florida's commitment to the community as a whole, as a nonprofit, as an organization. But tell us a little bit about you, Malin, because you're involved in a lot of nonprofits as well.
Yes, we do several things. Personally, all catering back to Mid-Florida. I am in the Rotary Club here, do a lot of different community events. Also, I'm the vice chair for the Haitian American Chamber, trying to see what we can do to kind of bridge that gap, because we know there's a lot of small businesses out there that need our assistance, whether it's for banking, whether it's for finance, whether it's for business, just the knowledge altogether. So we're out there trying to just make everything work, give you the information you need.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yes, yes.
Give everybody the credit union's website before we go.
Yes, just go to midflorida.com and you'll find us. Easy peasy. Just dial it in, and you'll find the different locations here in the Treasure Coast, from Okeechobee to Vero to Stewart, and then further on. And remember, we are a credit union, so we are a co-op. So when you're a member, any county, any city, any state you go into, you just Google what other credit unions are in that locale, and then you can go and get service there.
Very good.
Which is another unique thing about credit union.
And remember, you only have to live, work, worship, or go to school in a community that Mid-Florida serves
Absolutely.
to be a member.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break. We're going to come right back. I'm going to introduce a couple of special guests today, and we are going to move on to a special ceremony.
All right.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Stay with us.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Coffee with the Mayor. I am Teresa Aronson from the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce. Again, I want to remind everybody we're not a part of the city. We're just lucky enough to be a part of this show, and we're very grateful for that. We also do another show with the Children's Services Council. It is called All In. And on that show, every single month, we used to do it here at Coffee with the Mayor, if you'll remember, a Community Impact Award winner. And that is an individual standout from one of the very many, about 50 programs that Children's Services Council supports, and they support these programs in the name of children. So I have invited up with me, of course, the president, CEO of the Children's Services Council, Sean Boyle, and the mayor has been kind enough to join us so that when we give these plaques away, she can take a picture with the recipient. So Sean, tell everybody the five main objectives of the Children's Services Council.
Sure.
Priorities.
You're on such a roll, I thought you were going to do it.
I thought about it, but I know I'm going to screw it up, and then you're going to shoot daggers at me, so I thought I'm just going to let you do it.
All right, so the Children's Services Council for our community focuses on 5 priorities. Those priorities are 1, making sure every baby's a healthy baby; 2, stopping child abuse by building strong families; 3, keeping kids off the streets; 4, keeping them in school; and 5, keeping them off drugs, alcohol, and other risky behaviors.
And just for you at home, please know that there are benchmarks for all of these. It is, data that is collected to make sure that these priorities are being addressed in our community.
Yeah, if anybody's interested, you can go to our website, cscslc.org. We have 2 reports with what you just talked about. We do a community report card. We track 17 childhood indicators every single year, so we have trend data on how we're doing as a community. And then we have our program accountability report, where you can see all that we funded and what they accomplished in the community.
And Mayor, did you or did you not? You saw Sean last night too, didn't you?
Absolutely.
What happened last night?
So our NICE program, we give out awards to champions in our community, or people who really stand out, or organizations who stand out and provide great services. And our Children's Services Council won one of the awards. So
Oh, very nice.
we are so proud of them and grateful for everything that they do in our community.
Well, we're grateful that you gave us this opportunity to give these plaques away on the show today. Just a little background is we've been doing it virtually because of Zoom, or because of COVID, on Zoom. And so we threatened to give them their plaque that they've won every single month. But how many plaques do we have that we have
I've built
not?
a tiny home from plaques that I have in my
Yes.
office. We probably have at least 20.
Yeah, so I said to Sean, and it's only one a month. So for the past 2 years, basically, nobody's gotten their plaque unless they drove over to Sean's office and picked it up. So we're going to do it today. We're actually going to have a small ceremony. I'm going to announce their name. They're going to, Ashley Mock here from Children's Services Council is going to give them their plaque. They're going to come up and we're going to take a picture. So Mayor, Sean, if you want to come up. And Catherine from my office is going to stand down there and try to make sure we get them in the frame. And I am going to start. Oops. Our first winner is Kylie Furr from St. Lucie Public Schools. For those of you that don't know, Kylie works with the homeless program. So congratulations to Kylie. Next up is Trisha Goulet from the Department of Health. Trisha, congratulations. She is our October 2020 recipient of the Community Impact Award. For who, though? I don't see Simone. Oh, there she is. It wasn't highlighted. I knew that was Sonia, but I was like, okay. Next up is Simone Dupree, but her mom, Sonia, is going to be collecting her award for her. I hope she's feeling better. She is. Good, good, good. Congratulations. Ash? Okay. Oh. Next up, Joseph Richardson from Future Generations, our December 2020 recipient. Hi, Joseph. Ashley's whispering me the. Yep. Congratulations, Joseph. Next up, Deanna Wilds from New Horizons is our May 2021 recipient. Congratulations, Deanna. Oh, I'm on camera, but not in the pictures. Okay. Good to know. And next up, this one I know, Tommy John, Boys and Girls Club, August 2021 recipient of our award. And current class 39, Leadership St. Lucie, along as of the best class, because Sean is also in that class, so. Oh, Ishmael. Do we call you Ish, though? Mr. Ish. Okay. Very good. Mr. Ish, Angerville from End It, October 2021. End It, one of my favorite programs. Oh, happy birthday, Ish. Very nice. Clearly that wasn't 20, though. But we did have a few people. There you go. I was going to say your tiny house is still a, yeah, partial roof is all that's gone from that tiny home. Thank you, Sean, and we appreciate it. And the mayor and I are going to head right into our regular programming, as they say. Please welcome everybody, of course, the mayor of this beautiful city, Mayor Shannon Martin. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it very much, and I'm sure that everybody that was a recipient today appreciates that too, having their picture taken with the mayor. It's always really nice.
Anytime.
What do we got on deck today? What are we going to talk about? What do you got going on?
So I just want to talk about last week, our three members of the council, myself, Vice Mayor, and Councilman Bono went up to Tallahassee for the Florida League of Cities Legislative Action Days, and we were able to meet with our Treasure Coast delegation and to talk about the things that are important to Port St. Lucie. And we're very glad to say that we have two appropriations that one is in the House budget right now, the other one is in the Senate, and it is our Port St. Lucie, it's St. Lucie River C23 Water Quality Project. It's our McCarty Ranch project. It's Phase 7A, and it's an appropriation for the design of that. And luckily that is, like I said, in the House budget. And then we have also a water main project that is in the Senate budget for the economic development that's happening in Southern Grove right now, to put in water and sewer to our economic jobs corridor out there. And so hopefully that will continue to stay in the budget, and we have our legislators working on that. Also, met with DOT. As everyone is probably aware, Port St. Lucie Boulevard South is happening. The widening of that is happening right now. And so it's in several phases, and we are looking to push up getting the rest of it done sooner rather than later. So we're working with DOT to see how we can accomplish that. Because the way it works is the DOT gives out the funds in certain years. There's a design phase, and then there's the construction phase, and so we're working to try to get that moved up faster.
Expedite that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they hold on to your funds, and then you have to,
Yes.
it's a process.
Absolutely. And also met with DEP. We have several projects that we want to get working on, water quality projects.
Yeah, environmental.
Right. And so they're currently waiting to get federal funding and then to be able to funnel that down. And so it was great to meet with them because they're always looking for shovel-ready projects, and we gear all of our plans based on to get them shovel-ready so that we know that funding comes available, we can apply. And so it's always great to network and, put faces to names and show that presence. And it was an awesome experience. And our delegation's so welcoming and so great.
So it's, I'm going to unpack a few things for the layman is, why do you have to go to Tallahassee to do it? You see these people, they live in your community. Some of them have office space very close to you, but why do you have to go to Tallahassee? Well, Senator Pruitt, I think, explained many years ago that it is an obligation and you have to demonstrate to the other elected officials that maybe are not from your area that you are serious about this, that you are expecting your elected official to bring you home in appropriations is money for projects in their area. And so it's sort of it's a more general version of squeaky wheel, but you have to show everybody in the House that is not from your area that your delegation is serious about getting their appropriations. So you have to go up and sort of bang on the doors, as they say.
Absolutely. And with the League of Cities, why that's so important is, home rule is so important to all of us here locally. And what that is, our local elected officials being able to make the decisions that are closest to our community. So we want to be able to make decisions for our residents here. And a lot of times the legislature will make decisions or pass bills that benefit other entities or other people other than the cities. So we show force and we meet with other cities up there. We have meetings. We talk about the priorities of the league that we want to go talk to our legislators about. One in particular, which will affect all of us greatly, no matter whether you're a small city or a larger city, is the Sovereign Immunity Bill. And what that is there's a cap right now on the amount that you're allowed to sue a local government for, any entity or individual. And that cap currently is at $200,000 and $300,000. And there was a bill filed to amend that to make it $1 million to $3 million, depending on the occurrence. And so, as everyone knows, with our insurance rates the way they are, that will increase our insurance up to 30%. And that is a burden on our taxpayers. Also, unfortunately, people get lawsuit happy. And so to raise those levels could be very detrimental to a city.
Yeah.
And, for some of the smaller cities, it could bankrupt smaller cities.
Well, you have to put that in perspective. There is no time ever where there is not a lawsuit filed against a local jurisdiction.
Right.
This is a common everyday occurrence.
Right.
And so you're talking hundreds of lawsuits a year with the potential for a $1 to $3 million payout, which could be devastating to everyone, realistically.
Absolutely.
Because we count on services here locally from our government. And when you're talking lawsuits, you're talking about at the government amenities that we expect, every single one of them becomes a liability and potential for a lawsuit for $1 to $3 million.
Absolutely. And
Every playground swing, these are things that government or local government expects some protection against. And without it, we're all going to pay.
right.
Yeah.
And what's great about it is that, there's over 1,000 bills that get filed for a legislative session. And so not every bill is on our delegation's radar. And so that's another reason why it's important to bring it up to them and bring it to their attention, what the league priorities are and what we're paying attention to as a whole unit. And so we were able to do that, meeting with our delegation up there.
Good. Navigating that system is also quite difficult. I don't know if people realize this, but 1,000 bills are filed, right? Yeah. And some of them are, kind of bat crap crazy, right? So you have to not only weed through them, but you have to weed through the ones that actually have legs, have traction, have a possibility of getting anywhere. Are they being read at committee? That's the first step.
Yes.
But you need to have somebody that can navigate those waters for you too. So, but it's important because if something slips by like this without any opposition or without anybody locally voicing their opinion about it, it can be catastrophic for local government.
Absolutely. And that's what's so important about the Florida League of Cities. And also being mayor now, I'm on the board of directors of the Florida League of Mayors. So it's great to be able to talk to other mayors about what they're experiencing in their city and what they're doing differently that maybe we can do.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited for that this year. There's going to be several meetings, and it'll be really great.
Before we move on to questions, this is a good show. I think it's very educational because I don't think people understand the total process of government. It goes beyond local. And if you're a local elected official, you're still having to deal with the state level
Sure.
to a lot of degree. So we've talked about home rule for several years now. There was a push at the state level to kind of recoup the power for local governance at the state level. Which, okay, to some people that might sound more universal, but what it means in terms of your local dollars is you're going to see a lot less of them. You're going to be able to provide less individually for them. So things that make common sense are going to be kind of subverted by what the state government thinks. So they're going to tell you what's best for you on a local level. And I don't think most people locally really want that.
No.
But they don't understand that that's what's going to happen. Right. And so reach out to your local elected, your state in particular, and let them know this doesn't work for us. It's not one size fits all.
And you know, it's interesting because we'll get calls all the time about certain things that we don't have control over. But of course, everyone comes to the city and asks the question. Mm-hmm. And I feel it's really disappointing to have to say, I'm sorry, I can't help with that situation. This is a state issue. And in order for it to get changed, you have to talk to your state legislators in order to do it. But I would like to be able to solve the problem or help fix the problem, but sometimes I just can't.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate.
It's hard to navigate those waters as an elected official. I know, I'm sure of it. I don't have to typically, but even the smallest things that might be out of your control will be blamed on you.
Yeah.
What comes to mind specifically is, garbage collection. This is a national problem. It's not a Shannon Martin. It's not a Mayor Martin problem. It is a national problem. And we are all kind of figuring this out, not just locally. But COVID has changed the way things work.
And yeah, you're absolutely right. And being at the Florida League of Mayors meeting, I had the opportunity to speak to the mayor of Cape Coral. And Cape Coral is actually a GDC city, similar to Port St. Lucie. And they do have Waste Pro, and they are experiencing the exact same problems that we are with the labor shortage and management issues as a result of labor shortage. So it's not just us, it's happening all over the state. And that's just one example.
And not just Waste Pro either, waste management, everybody is having the same every business in America right now is having some labor shortage issues. And so it's not specific to our area, it's not specific to our carrier. Labor shortage issues in a time when we're generating home generation of waste was at an all-time high.
Absolutely.
Because we were all home, right? And we were all, cleaning out the garage, and so people don't understand that this goes beyond this dais. But I just want to remind everybody of that. I think we do have some questions. Have you had a chance? I typically like to read the question before I announce that we have a question. I haven't been able to do that yet because this is a very long one. So,
So it's about a vandalized bus stop shelter at Berkshire and Malaluka.
Okay.
We'll get with the city manager to have that addressed. Berkshire and Malaluka.
Berkshire and Malaluka, the bus stop shelter has been vandalized. So that's what that one was. Okay, very good.
I'll have that addressed.
Yep. That's an easy one. We can talk to somebody about getting that done, but thank you for the question. Bright Line stopping in Fort Pierce. That's a fun one. First of all, this is Port St. Lucie, so that's out of your purview.
That's okay. So we don't know yet. There's a planned stop somewhere on the Treasure Coast. It may be Stewart. It may be Fort Pierce. I know Fort Pierce would like it. We actually sent a letter in support of Fort Pierce.
Yeah.
Because
So,
we
goes-
don't know yet. It's going to be a while probably before that decision gets
It's
made.
going to be a long while. Let's be honest. It's going to be a long while. And also it goes back to what we talk about a lot on this show is market study. Where do they think the best market is for a stop? I do think it's Fort Pierce. And I hope they take into consideration that one of the counties here on the Treasure Coast chose not to sue Brightline. And the rest of them chose to sue Brightline. So hopefully they'll play nice with those who have been playing nice with them. But I think that we would most definitely want a stop in Fort Pierce. One, because it's coming through anyway, right? We can't stop it. It's a private enterprise. They own the tracks. They can run that train where they want, when they want.
They're testing the trains right now.
They are. And two, a stop could generate economic growth for us in the entire county. And three, if they're stopping, they have to slow down. So we really would like that stop in Fort Pierce. But I don't think it's happening in the immediate future.
Not that I'm aware of.
But great question. Anybody else have questions in the audience today? Anybody? We have a large audience. I was hoping for more questions. I was hoping for more questions on Facebook too. No? You're trying? This is, every other time in history, people are so happy to throw anything at you on Facebook, but not today.
So one thing I want to mention, next week, we are going into our city council winter retreat, where we sit with all our staff. We get an update on all of the projects that are going on, a strategic planning update. We start taking a look at some of our departments. We start planning for the budget, next year's budget, and getting early indicators of where our revenue is trending and what things are looking like from that perspective. So I love our retreats. It's really our time to get into the weeds and really talk with all of our department heads and our city administration about important things going on in Port St. Lucie, and really building also our strategic plan for the future. And we'll be doing strategic planning next month in March. So, and I want to thank everyone who's come out to our Citizen Summit. We had a great event with all residents coming out. We showed them our priority projects. We asked questions about where they want to see their tax dollars spent. We have boards that we put up, and there's going to be lots of dots shown on those boards, and they'll show where the majority of our citizens want us to focus and get things done. So that's always an exciting time.
It is. And you hear from other people in the community, other organizations that are a part of this process. So I like the retreat too. Everybody gets sort of, it's not necessarily informal, but a little bit more informal than a city council meeting. Yep.
Absolutely.
We have another question, and it's about, with the population growth in areas along Becker Road, is there any plans to speed up the timeline for sidewalks and street lights? So this is a two-part question. I'll let you address sidewalks.
Okay. So sidewalks, we have a 10-year master sidewalk plan, and we address sidewalks depending on funding. We have sidewalks planned in our half-cent sales tax. We get state grants for sidewalks. We also have in our budget for sidewalks every year. So sidewalks are a major priority, and it just depends on how much funding we have to get as many we could possibly get done. Just last night at the council meeting, we did an approval for a LAP agreement with the state for a sidewalk on Alcantara.
Oh, okay, very
And
good.
That is really a cut through from Port St. Lucie Boulevard. It's the only cut through from Port St. Lucie Boulevard to Savona.
Savona, yep.
And heavily traveled, so it was great to have that on the agenda and finally getting done. We have also the one on Rosser, the connection from Openview to Parr, getting done. That actually started yesterday. So sidewalks are a priority, and we do everything we can to get as many sidewalks done in the year as possible. They are quite costly, especially
Yeah.
with inflation. So depending on funding, absolutely. And streetlights.
Well, I also want to say that sidewalks, whenever you're improving a road here in the city of Port St. Lucie, sidewalks have to be a part of it too. So
Oh, absolutely. And all of our road widening projects, complete street,
Yeah.
sidewalks, bike paths.
they all are included. They never improve a road without sidewalk inclusion.
Absolutely.
So streetlights, it's a fun subject. I don't know if you've been following the show, but this has been going on for years. So streetlights, anybody can get a streetlight in their neighborhood if their neighbors agree. So this is funded by you, realistically. If you want a streetlight, there is a process, and I'm sure we'll put it online for the city of Port St. Lucie to file to try to get streetlights put up in your neighborhood. But you have to have the consensus of your neighbors because it will add to your tax bill.
Yes, and if anyone wants streetlights, they can call the clerk's office, and the clerk will guide you through the process on how to get streetlights on your street. However, something you can also do, which is what I did several years ago, is I have a pole in between, FP&L pole in between my property and my neighbor's property, and I wanted a light. I didn't want to go through the process of having to, ask all my neighbors. So I applied through FP&L to get a light put on the pole. I pay for it every month. It cost me $11 and change. And so I was willing to pay that cost. And now I have a light there that shines on my property. And
So you
it
are
works out
the
well.
captain of your own ship in terms of lights. And I didn't know you could do that with FP&L, but
Yeah.
you just have to subsidize it, which is true. And then I am in the far other side of the camp, and I do not want a street light in front of my house. I live on the water. The last thing I need is attraction of more bugs. And we have a lot of wildlife, turtles, gators, all that kind of stuff. The street light is not going to be amiable for protection there.
And what we found over the years is it's really a 50-50 split.
Yeah,
There are people that don't want any lights.
I do not
at
want any
all,
lights.
like you.
Yep.
And there are many people that want more
Yep.
street lights. So
That's why you have to get your neighbors to buy in. I mean, it has to be a consensus. That's the nation we live in. Majority rules.
yeah, absolutely.
So, but there you go. That's sidewalks and streetlights. We have a follow-up. The areas in question are exploding in population. Was that part of the 10-year plan? I think 10 years is short. It's been part of the plan since GDC sold lots.
Yeah, our city was built without sidewalks. Our city was built without a lot of infrastructure. And so what we've had to do over the last 60 years is really retrofit the entire city. And we're going to be continuing to do just that for the next 50 years.
Yeah.
And so there was no way to predict the population growth at the rate it is.
No.
There really wasn't, especially now. We never, ever expected it to grow this fast. The city was originally planned with 80,000 single-family lots. So, and I mentioned this before, but it bears repeating just for educational purposes and so people understand. So if you multiply that times the average of 2.5 people per household, that's 200,000. So the original city was planned for a minimum of 200,000 people.
But we weren't sure when we'd get there.
Right, we had no idea. And so we are constantly planning. Those plans don't sit on a shelf. They're implemented each and every day. It just depends on how we can fund them and how we can make that happen. And we have a very active strategic plan, and all of our master plans tie into that.
Yeah, and PSA for today, when GDC sold those lots and designated them residential, we can't do anything about that. We can't take them from people. We can't rezone. They have every right to build a house on the lot they bought from GDC. So the plan was always to reach 200,000 people in this community.
Right.
We have.
Oh,
Let's
we're
be
over
honest.
that now.
We're over it, but we cannot take away rights from anyone to build. Right. All right, this one is about speeding, realistically. So on Facebook, we have a question. Is there any way the city can consider parking a patrol car along the area of Abingdon because cars are really going way too fast down there? They're going way too fast everywhere, let's be honest.
They are, and again, we talked about this before, but what's so unsettling is that these are our own neighbors that are speeding through our neighborhoods to get home. And I realize in this fast-paced world that everyone's in a rush, and everyone has somewhere to be yesterday. But we all need to just take a step back, be kinder. Please take into account your speed. Think about your neighbors. Think about what you're doing in the community and how you're affecting everyone else. because it's just gotten a little crazy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as much as we would like to, government cannot control or regulate human behavior.
No.
We just can't do that. And to say otherwise just would be not
We can
honest.
punish bad behavior.
Right.
We're
Right.
punitive, but we can't control it.
Exactly. And so we all need to do that. And so if there is directed enforcement needed, Mr. Howell, I will be happy to speak to the city manager to talk to the police chief about getting some directed enforcement on Abingdon. And another thing that we've done, because we know that speeding is an issue, when we did our multimodal plan, it was recommended to us by our consultant based on benchmarking across other cities that our speed limits were too high in our residential streets. So we are lowering them to 25. Now, you can argue back and forth whether that really does anything or not, but it's about trying to change behavior and trying to all work together for everyone to realize that you really do need to slow down and not be in such a rush because God forbid you hit someone going 25,
Yeah.
the likelihood of them dying is not as strong as if you were going 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. So we want to make sure that we're doing our part as a city to help change the mindset of that. And so that's happening right now. The signs are ordered, and as soon as they're installed, then we can have more enforcement of that from our police department.
But yeah, good question. I mean, it is something that we've been talking about. We know it's an issue
Yes.
throughout the community. So we don't want to belittle it, but we, be accountable. And the consequences can be dire.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good. Any other questions? Do you want to talk about anything else? I don't see any questions, but I'm happy to take them if somebody stands up. But what else do we want to talk about?
Oh boy, there's so many things that are going on.
I know, and I think it's supposed to be a half hour or 45 minutes. Who knows? We just talk until we get done talking, and then we leave. But yeah, no more questions online. Okay. Well, how would you assess your first? Are we at 90 days? How many days has it been? It's actually been longer than 90, right?
know.
I don't either. I was hoping you would know because as soon as it came out of my mouth, I thought I don't have a clue.
Let's see, September or February.
Okay.
Going good.
It is going good, I think.
Good.
I feel like it's actually, dare I say, great. It's a great time for the city.
It is.
I think it has been a less pugilistic time online for the city, so I'm excited.
I mean, we're always going to have our challenges. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of coming together and discussing them and doing what we can to, change our challenges into opportunities and to make things happen that we know are problems and fix them to the extent that we can. And it's always a work in progress here in Port St. Lucie, and it always will be. But that's what it's all about, everyone working together to get things done.
Yeah. Well, great job.
Thank you.
I want to thank Mid-Florida Credit Union, as always, for sponsoring the show, and everybody that came in today to see the show, and Sean Boyle at Children's Services for choosing this option to give away our plaques from our show All In. cityofpsl.com for anything that we talked about today. You get just a wealth of information. My favorite is under the planning department, coming soon, because when I'm walking along in Publix and everywhere else, people will stop me and ask me, what's going here? And that is the official place to find out what is going there. So I love that portal. I think it was a great job on behalf of the city to put that up. And I thank you for that. And I thank you for spending time with us.
Absolutely. And I also put that on my newsletter. So I have a monthly e-newsletter that I put out every single month talking about all important things that are happening, roadway projects, sidewalk projects. So if anyone wants to subscribe to that newsletter and get that information on a monthly basis, they can email me at mayorofcityofpsl.com, and my assistant will subscribe you to the newsletter list, and you will get all the updates
I love
on
that.
what's going on in the city. Coming soon, actually someone asked me for that, to put that section on my newsletter, so
Good.
I make sure I put that on there as well. New businesses that are in the city are on the newsletter, so lots of good stuff.
Great stuff. All right. And thank you to the staff here and my staff for helping us put this together, and Marianne at Your Service Catering, who provides the wonderful coffee cake and coffee. Don't forget about allthingstreasurecoast.com. If you're looking for something to do in a 4-county area, you can search by date, you can search by event, you can search by place. So thank you everyone for watching as well. Have a great day. Till next time, don't forget, from now on, third Tuesday of the month, we'll be right here, free and open to the public.